What's going on, Knicks Nation? I'm Hawk Von Dame, and today I wanted to talk about the New York Knicks, man. Shout out and congratulations to Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau won Coach of the Year, man. That's crazy. You know what's funny is like sometimes I end up like giving a second, and most of the time that's not rehearsed. That's because within that second, I forgot exactly what I wanted to sing. I'm having a brain fart. And in that second, I completely forgot what I wanted to go into. Anyway, Tom Thibodeau, Coach of the Year. And I actually heard on Greeny's show where they said Philly's coach, Monty Williams, Monty something, he was supposed to be, it's an argument of him possibly winning. And my thing is this. New York has been horrible for 2 decades. 2 decades. We don't have any all-stars. Shout out to Julius Randle because most improved player, at least in my eyes. Oh, no, he did win most improved player of the year. And he was a first-time all-star this year. If you look at Phoenix got Devin Booker, and Chris Paul, who's a damn Hall of Famer. So, yeah, the other guys, the young kid, Aiden, something like that, they got players. For New York to make it to the 4th round is amazing. I made a video criticizing Thibodeau and critiquing, not criticizing, because I wasn't bashing him. If you watch the video, it was more my thoughts on thinking that he could have done a little bit better developing the guys. But in terms of what he did this year with this team, this lineup, everything, man, he had to win Coach of the Year. He went out there and did amazing. And even though we didn't get the results we wanted, even though we got bounced out the playoffs, I'm not upset that we lost. We weren't that talented as a full unit. We're a couple pieces away. I was having a talk with my brother, and he actually thinks we're more pieces away than I think. So me personally, I just think we're 1 or 2 pieces away. We need the guy. Now, there was a lot of talks about Lonzo Ball coming. To me, Lonzo Ball is a solid piece, a solid point guard that helps and should take everyone up another level, but I don't think he's a difference maker. I don't think he would have been the difference in the Atlanta series. So to make a big deal about Lonzo Ball, he's just a piece. Now, the moment we got bumped, they called up Portland. Dame Lillard. Ooh. If we could get Dame Lillard, oh my God. The only thing is I don't want to get into this vicious cycle that the Knicks have been doing for the past 2 decades. We end up getting some success and we completely gut the roster to get the guy. I don't want to go down that road no more. That's not happening. What I want is for us to develop everyone the right way. If we end up getting the guy through free agency, cool. Do not gut the team. That is something we can't do. Dame Lillard is a problem. In my eyes, Dame Lillard is the most clutch finisher in the NBA right now. I'm not saying he's the best player. I'm saying when it comes down to that final shot, those clutch moments, them final 2 moments, game on the line, who you want taking that shot? Man, Dame Lillard's hitting that from the parking lot. You crazy? I want Dame Lillard all day taking that shot. And I do think he's got a lot of miles on. But with his jump shot, if he loses a bit of athleticism, he's still going to be a top player. So I would love Dame Lillard to come here. Also interesting, I wanted Dallas to beat the Clippers. Because I'm going to sound like a total fan here. I wanted them to beat the Clippers because I wanted Kawhi. I wanted Kawhi to lose and the possibility of him opting out his contract. Now, every year, the Knicks fans always talk about how it's possible someone could come to the team, and we always get these crazy scenarios, but it's starting to feel different. it's starting to feel real different in New York. So I want to take a few calls and I want to hear from a few guests and to hear their perspective on everything. And I want to go to one of our first guests and take her perspective on it. So what's good? Yeah, I'm here with Tia Shaw. She is actually the first guest ever on the whole game show. So let's give Knicks Nation a little round of applause. Got a button or something to press, but yeah, there we go. So I was talking about free agency for New York, and coming up, I felt like we needed the guy. We had a great season. I don't know how you view it. Do you view this season as a failure, being that we ended up losing to Atlanta?
Not at all. I don't feel it as a failure because as a Knicks fan, it's been, 8 years since we had any type of excitement.
Yes.
So, I definitely don't view it as a failure. I know we have work to do, but all of us true, honest Knicks fans, the excitement is back. We're sitting on the edge of our seats for the next season. I'm personally not feeding into all the hype. I'm on Twitter and I have a Snapchat, but mostly Twitter. And everyone's going back and forth. I'm not doing that. I'm excited.
Okay.
I feel like we're back. We're on the right path.
So real quick, you talked about the work we need to do, which every year it feels like we get hype of all these free agents and we're always the butt of the joke. Like finally it feels different. It feels like people want to come back to the Garden. Remember Kevin Durant said we were corny. It's crazy because now I feel like the Garden is electric. So you talked about work we need done. Who would you want to come here? Because we got Dame Lillard. I think they called Portland up immediately after we lost the series. They called up Portland and asked about Dame Lillard. You also got Kawhi. Kawhi has an opt-out clause in his contract. I believe Victor Oladipo is a free agent, Lonzo Ball. Where do you think we should go, whether it be draft or free agency? Where do you think we need our work going?
I mean, the chemistry is great. I know we probably need a big man. Hopefully Mitch, I'm not even say hopefully, he will be good. But as I guess free agency may be where we should go. I mean, I do like Dame.
Oh, he's the best.
If it's kind of, that's where I'm putting my vote in. Dame, of course. I even saw maybe a few minutes ago, John Wall was now thrown into the pot. I was like,
yeah, I kind of agree with that.
So it's hard.
DeMar DeRozan, how would you feel about him coming here?
Oh, I didn't hear that one. Oh.
I think he's a free agent too.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. I don't know.
I don't see it neither. To me, I would love Dame to come here. I just hope they don't do what they always do and gut the roster to get the guy.
Exactly.
We always run into that same cycle of trying to get someone here, and I just don't want us to butcher the team just to get that guy. I feel like
that's my path.
So hopefully, what do you think about Lonzo Ball?
Lonzo Ball, he comes with things like daddy.
I like his father. Me being a father, I like the father.
No, I do.
I love his father.
He's funny. He's funny. I'm joking. Nah, you know what? Why not? I mean, Dame is my top vote. You know what I'm saying? And at this point, like you said, they got the roster, and I love the chemistry that we have. I don't want to mess that up for.
You want to bring Rose back? That was a question.
Of course. I love him. If you look at my Twitter.
Definitely.
He's on it. I love him.
You mentioned your Twitter. I'm going to also put it up here, but let people know what it is so if they can follow you.
Oh. The TN Shaw 06.
Okay. Now, also with being a huge Knicks fan that we are, you're also extremely talented, and I look up to you because I'm a inspiring writer. You actually are a writer. So I want you to, let everyone know about your book, your project.
Okay. Well, this is my book, as you see, Cheap and Wolf Clothes. It's in Barnes and Noble. It's on Amazon, iTunes. So you can, do it. You can actually order it and get it. Some people still like that, or you can, get it download to your Kindle or your iPad or, whatever, your MacBook, so you can read it audio as well. So yeah, I wrote this book. Make it quick, the story, it was just a something I had in my mind, and my mentor, she wrote her book, and I told her, I said, I always wanted to write a book. So I told her my story. She said, go for it. I think it's a great story. So
Nice.
I actually wrote it and got it out there. Our character's name is Kimora.
So real quick, is there any personal, I know me, when I write, almost 90% of the story is me. So is there any personalness in this story?
Yes, there is. And if you read it, you're probably going to get in touch with me and be like, all right, explain yourself. Yeah, it is a big part of me. I'll be honest. It is a big part of me. Kimora is, very close to me. She is, she's a sweet girl that was put in a situation where she had to make some choices to save her family. But, all she wants is to get back to her life. So, yeah, I relate to that very much.
Awesome. I'm also gonna put a link. So if any, matter of fact, not if, all Knicks Nation, go out and support her. So I'm gonna put a link in there, and I want to thank you. You're actually my first guest on my show. So
thank you so much. I'm honored, very honored. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Take care.
Thank you. You too.
Yo, Knicks Nation, I want y'all to give a huge round of applause. If I had an applause button, I would press it right now, man. I want y'all to give a round of applause for my brother, man. Will Starr, one of the dopest rappers, period. Not in East Harlem, not in New York, just period. One of the illest to ever do it, man. Knicks Nation.
Yo, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. That's nice, man. I like that introduction. I couldn't have written it better myself, man.
Yes, sir. Yo, man. I mean, I was disappointed with the loss, but I want to know how you feel. Do you feel that season was a failure because
No, not at all. Not a failure. How could it be a failure? Like, if you would have told me before the season started that we would be a 4th seed team, with a home court, with home court in the first round, man, I would have took that before the season started. I'm taking that with no hesitation, no questions asked. I'll take that. So how could I sit here and tell you that this season was not a successful season?
I don't know if you heard yet. Tom Thibodeau won Coach of the Year, man.
Yes, I heard about that, and that's well deserved. We could get into that too. Like, he definitely deserves that. There's so many reasons and so many variables into that award. He deserves it hands down. Nate McMillan did his thing. I ain't gonna front. Like, Nate McMillan definitely did his thing with Atlanta, but Thibodeau did it for a longer duration of the season. Thibodeau did it from beginning to the end, and we played consistently hard from beginning to end.
The runner-up was Monty Williams from Phoenix.
Oh yes, him too. But Phoenix, see, this is where the difference comes in, as far as like the reason why I feel Thibodeau deserves it more than anyone. Phoenix got themselves like probably the top 5 point guard ever, probably, and Chris Paul, another floor leader, whatever. So they got themselves brand new pieces, coming into the season. Well, a brand new key piece going into the season, where Thibodeau basically took the same roster from last year. Okay, this is the same roster from last year. We really didn't get no key. We didn't get no top 5 all-time player, nothing like that on our team. It's basically the same team. So he took the same roster, implemented principles, right, and made a freaking huge difference, like night and day.
Yeah.
With a pretty similar roster.
So Will, let me ask you this, man, because free agency. If I just talked with our last guest, Tia. Yo, she's dope, man. You'll love her book.
Okay.
Every year, it seems like we get in this crazy cycle of gutting the team to get the guy here.
Okay.
Who do you want to see us go after during free agency?
Ideally, obviously, point guard, Dame Lillard. He's one of the. He's a guard, of course. But the beauty about the position I don't want to see us make a Carmelo move for him.
Yeah.
And the beauty about the position that the Knicks are in now, if they ask for too much, we're not desperate. We're actually in a position where we could walk away. We could walk away from this deal and still be fine. That's beautiful. We don't have to approach this shit. We don't have to approach this deal like if there is a deal on the table or any offers, we're not going into it with a sense of desperation. We just came out of fourth seed. If it's something, if the price is too high, we can walk away and be fine. I want him on, and what I want him on the roster. Yes, I'm not saying I don't. I'm not saying that, but we can walk away. Like if they ask for something crazy, we can walk away and be fine.
Yeah.
We
You cannot gut this roster just to get the guy here. We can't go.
No, then it's gonna be a Carmelo Anthony situation over again, where we just gonna be scrambling for that guy to pair him with. Where if we can orchestrate something that doesn't involve Randall and RJ Barrett, then we good. I'll consider Mitch Robinson. I'll consider Manuel Quickly. I'll consider all those guys in a boatload of draft picks. I'll do it, but I'm not gonna gut cornerstone guys. Like I feel like a dude, like if Damian Lillard came, if Damian Lillard, imagine this: if Damian Lillard comes and you just move, it moves Julius Randle to where he's better suited, which is like a second option, some nights even a third option as RJ Barrett grows.
You'll get busy.
Now we cooking with hot oil now. Like we ready to cook.
Will, Will, real quick, man. I'm gonna throw a couple of names at you, and I'm gonna go through a few. So just give me a little quick thoughts on if you want to keep them or you'll pass on. So these two guys are on the player option. I don't know if they're gonna opt out. You got Chris Paul and Kawhi Leonard on player options where they can opt out their deals. Would you want to bring in any of obviously Kawhi, but
yes, of course. Like that's someone you can't sneeze at that opportunity if that shit presented itself. He's a winning player. He brings it on both sides of the court. That low management, I don't know how that shit would work with Tibbs. I don't know how that would work with Tibbs, but you know what I'm saying? We'll, I guess if we were to get him, we'll cross that bridge.
What you think about Chris Paul?
Chris Paul's another one. It won't hurt, but this is like that. I guess Knicks fan loser mentality. I just feel like if he comes here, that's when he'll finally get an injury that he won't be able to come back from with some dumb shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather stay away from older players or players that are past their prime. Kawhi Leonard, yes.
I got an interesting one for you, and I believe he's a free agent. What do you feel about Victor Oladipo?
Nah, talented player. Does his game translate into wins? That's still a question that no one can answer. That can you answer that? Does his game is nice? His numbers are nice, but do they translate to wins? I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure. I wouldn't. And then he has like some health issues and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So Nah, I wouldn't do that. There's a few players that I've heard. Have you heard of DeMar DeRozan's name popping up?
I'm not a fan of DeMar DeRozan, man.
I put Oladipo in that same bracket, guys that, they operate for certain places of the floor. Their numbers look good, but does it translate to wins? I don't know. I don't think so. No.
So a name that I threw out there in the beginning of the season before he even popped, I just thought would be a good fit. Lonzo Ball. I don't think.
Oh yes.
I don't think he's a difference maker, because I think even if he was on the team, we would have still lost the Atlanta series. But I think him on the team would help develop all these other guys a lot more.
Oh yes, he'll help a guy like Mitch. Like when we get Mitch Robinson back, he would help a lot of guys. He's a dude that keeps the ball moving. He's a guy who he plays defense too. His defense is underrated. He's shooting better from the field. He's another one. He's a guy who hasn't even tapped his full potential yet. He's gotten better every year. He didn't have the start to his career that everyone thought he would, but he's coming along, and he's a good player. I think he will help certain guys. Like we don't have a lot of guys like R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle. When his mind is right, those are the only two guys that can create something for themselves on our team. You know what I'm saying? So a guy like Lonzo Ball could help people like Mitch Robinson, even a Nerlens Noel when he comes off the bench, like just guys that pick and roll. And he can find shooters.
I definitely think we need a point guard, but I look at a guy like Lonzo Ball to help the development of Obi Toppin. Obi looks so close, bro.
There you go.
And
there you go.
The moment D Rose came here, his IQ, man. D Rose gets so much credit for being this athletically gifted point guard, but he proved to me his IQ was through the roof this year. Because as soon as he got here, he made a pass, and he did it throughout the whole season. But he got here and did a pick and roll and did a pass to Obi Toppin, and within seconds, that ball got the Obi. It got the Obi so quick. Obi ain't even know that the ball.
Wasn't even expecting it because he's just not used to being set up. They gave that to him on a dime, like he dropped that on a dime, tailor-made, easy buckets.
He did that all year, man.
We need guys that can do that.
Yeah, I would agree, man. Yo, did you recording today?
The who?
Did you record today?
Oh yeah, we did, man. We did earlier today, man. We recorded some stuff, man. It was good. We had a productive day, man.
Nice. Yeah, I did the music video, or you was in the studio?
My man is working on the video, and I recorded actually something new today, or a little earlier today. So both things, what we recorded today and the video is in progress. So probably be done by in the next couple of days or so, or something like that. Just the editing thing and all that stuff.
Definitely. So as soon as that's done, I'm gonna put your Twitter and your Instagram in the description. So if anyone want to check out the best rap in New York, period. Lyrically, one of the most untouchable dudes you have ever heard. I'm gonna put the link in the bio, and if it gets done by the time I finish editing, I'm gonna put the music at the end so they can check it out, man.
Sounds good. I like that. Sounds good.
Will, my brother, I appreciate you stopping by, man. I can't thank you enough.
No, man, it's my pleasure, man. You already know, man. Knicks Nation, man. Come on,
yes,
man.
Sir.
We gotta stick together, man. Come on. You know what it is.
As soon as Giant season roll around, I'm gonna dive into that. I'm more of a big Blue fan. I rock with New York, Hawk Talk New York, all New York kid, but I'm a Giants fan.
Oh, of course. We I think we're ready to make noise this year, man. I think the Giants and the Knicks similar, man. I think the defense that's what's gonna make or break us, man.
Yes.
They like that
Thibodeau. Right
yeah,
that tipping point, man.
That the Giants play with Thibodeau's philosophy, man. That defense is gonna be what it is, yo. And they have similarities in that way.
We got some nasty rookies, man. I hope they come in there and get business, man. And hopefully some of the guys that got hurt, man, can come back. Cause they were really cooking last year.
Harlem World
Especially on the
summertime,
defensive
niggas bringing them whips out.
Now we
All
got
them
a lot
dice
of
games,
things
them
working for
niggas
us.
bringing them
Important
chicks out. This nigga
the
mad cause my
greatest
dick be in
guard-
his bitch
guard-
mouth.
guard
Star
is
in his
showing
bag like
back
Santa
next
handing
year.
them
He's gonna
gifts
come
out.
back
Cold
healthy,
cuts,
man. My
people
man
say my
Saquon,
niggas
you
is
heard?
wild.
My
PKs
favorite
niggas
player
spitting
in life.
tribulations and
That's
traps.
my guy.
Got a one
That's
way
it. That's the
ticket
guard.
to the
That's
top. No
yo,
detour.
shout out-
Dutch playground, nigga playing
Shout out
on
to
that
Saquon,
seesaw.
man. That's
Nigga
the
ask
guard
about me,
with
they
shoulder
tell
pad,
you
you
that
heard?
nigga
That's
been
his
raw.
guard with
They love
shoulder
me
pad,
in
man.
Harlem
That's
like
what
they
that
love
is.
Nipsey and Crenshaw.
Yo, Will,
Driven by
appreciate you
love,
stopping
some
by,
niggas
brother.
driven
I'm gonna
by
get out of
greed.
here, man.
See the devil's
All
alive,
right,
got
bro.
niggas blessing
Later,
their beats.
Playboy.
Watch this,
All right,
watch
kid.
niggas hop on my